welcome back, y'all. Welcome back to Too Much with
Shey
and Becca. We are so happy to see y'all. We're happy to be here with y'all. It's been a couple hours.
girl. It sure has.
It has been a couple of hours. I think the week was somewhat okay. And
Mhm.
then this last few hours, I'm like, let us catch a break, please.
Girl. We hope you guys are doing well. If this is your first time, welcome to our podcast. We have a booked and busy podcast episode today. It's going to be lots of fun. So make sure you stay tuned for that.
Definitely. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yes.
And any topics we talk about, like we've said in past episodes, but if you are new here, we want to hear from you guys. As much as Shaylin and I love talking to each other, we also want to hear, you guys' thoughts, your opinions, your takes on anything. Even if you agree or disagree, just let us know in the comments. And we appreciate any type of interaction that y'all give us. So let us go into our weekly rundown. What's happening? Shayla, so what is happening?
So my week has been good. I started watching The Residence on Netflix, but since I don't have my own account, this is all thanks to the beautiful Rebecca, the money maker. I could only watch one episode because it kicked me out the next day. I was so mad.
Really?
Whoever, like, Netflix thought they ate with that, trying to stop the password sharing. But I think honestly, it's worse for them because when people were allowed to, or like if it was like if you know, you just did it, no one was publicizing it. But I feel like people talked about their shows more. You know what I'm saying? Like people engaged, and on TikTok, on all the social media platforms, we were all talking about shows because everyone was able to watch it. And now that they're so strict on this whole password sharing thing, it's giving you thought you ate but you didn't.
But then also, you know what the problem is? It's like y'all are I'm sorry, I know this is your weekly rundown, but I just want to say this one point real quick. The whole thing is like Netflix, you're supposed to sit, enjoy, watch stuff without commercials, do all this, and it's an enjoyable experience. But the way that y'all make me not want to have an account anymore because y'all raise the amount every single time. Like every year y'all are raising the amount and I'm not seeing nothing like greater or better popping up on Netflix. Like I just don't get, like, what was the reason?
Yeah, and I feel like the same way that they're upping the price, they should be upping the amount of people that are allowed on the account. Let's match energy. Anyways, if you have Netflix, you have your own account, I suggest you watch The Residence. It started off really good. I made the best penne vodka sauce from scratch. Usually, I'm in my cooking era. Usually I just buy like the sauce from the can. I use like the Rayo one, but I felt inspired by a TikTok, and girl, no tea, no shade, I ate down on that. So much so, I live alone, so I made like a full box of pasta. But pasta, once you boil it, the portion size is like double. So I took some to my coworkers on Thursday, and they also agreed that it was good and it was super easy to make. And I was like, wow, my man and my kids are going to be so lucky because I could get down in the kitchen. I tried Dairy Queen for the first time. At least I think it was my first time. If I have had it before, I don't remember.
You're going to hate this, but I think they're a part of the ban list for DEI.
Are they?
I'm just saying, I think.
Are they? No, we need to confirm that.
I'm about to check.
Okay, so as I'm not even going to continue hyping up because if it was bad, then I don't want to let y'all know about nothing. The next thing I wanted to talk about is I started I haven't watched this, but Michelle Obama has a podcast with her brother, and a lot of their clips have been popping up on TikTok.
Wait, Michelle Obama got a brother?
Yes, girl. I ain't know either, but she does.
Is he single?
Yes. No. He's not single. He married with kids.
Oh, okay.
And so their podcast is called IMO with Michelle Obama and Craig Robinson, the brother. And their latest episode featured Keke Palmer. And as I've said several times, I am a Keke Palmer stan. I love her down. And I just feel like if you have the time to watch that episode, you should. There was like a portion or a clip that popped up on my TikTok where, you know, Michelle Obama spoke about when you're young, you're always striving to the next thing, or like you're always stressed. You're like, oh, well, I can't wait till I'm happy, or I can't wait till I'm happy. And it's like, unfortunately, we have been misguided to think that like you're gonna reach that state. Like there's always gonna be a problem. There's always like life is always going to life. It's never gonna stop lifing. So until you kind of like come to terms with that, you're never gonna reach that quote unquote happiness, because people are like, oh, when I get this new job, I'm gonna be happy. When I get this salary, I'm gonna be happy. When I find my husband, I'm gonna be happy. And it's like, no, there's always like, yes, you get your husband, but then more problems arise. You know what I mean? So just life will always life, no matter that age or what you think you need. Live in the moment and learn how to just deal with your emotions in life, because if you're always looking to the next thing, you're gonna forget to live. And I'm like, wow, I felt that.
And you know, to that point, I remember I saw this because you know, TikTok got all the different therapists on there. So this girl was sharing something that her therapist told her, and basically it was like a question was like, once you get to that goal that you think you're striving so hard for, what is like what's next? You're
Right.
It's like you're always gonna keep finding the next goal and the next goal and the next goal. And it's like because you're always trying to strive for like that check off, it's like you're never really going to be happy. Like you really don't enjoy yourself in that moment. When I
Mm-hmm.
remember I read Shayla this post, it was like, what's your toxic trait? And when I tell you this was me to a T, it was like my toxic trait is that I don't feel any sense of accomplishment after achieving something, just a mild sense of relief that it's done. And that's literally me. And like I think sometimes to myself where I'm like, is it something that I actually really wanted? Like, what is it that I'm really striving for if like I
Mm-hmm.
don't get that sense of like excitement? And I think also it goes like to how like we were raised. It's just like, yeah, you did it. Congratulations. Here's the next task. Like, you know?
Yeah, and I also think it's harder for our generation because, I mean, let alone, I feel like for us it's a little bit different because our parents migrated here at a younger age. But like a lot of like the people that were raised here and are economically stable, you know what I mean? Like their parents were able to afford a house. We're being raised in a time where like we went through a pandemic. People are knee deep into student debt. Who knows if we're going to be able to own a house? Like it's just so many things that I know others have had it worse and we're just dealing with whatever it comes to us, but I think we do have to celebrate those small wins, because if not, we're going to reach the goal, you know what I'm saying, the finish line, and be unhappy because we never got a chance to like live and celebrate the small wins. But
Right.
anyways, that was a lot. How was your week?
Also, I think they are rolling it. They did roll it back. I'm looking like people have included it in the list of places.
Okay, well, that's why I never was going to Dairy Queen anyways. How was your week?
So my week, it's funny that you mentioned that because my cousin had texted me earlier this week and like he was like, "Oh, like how are you? I just want to check in on you." And all my response was like, "Yeah." Like you ever have so many feelings that you just numb? Like I couldn't say any like I can't give a breakdown because it's just like I have so many feelings, so many thoughts where I'm just like I can't put this into like one like
I
stable
feel
place.
numb. I think that's a good emotion.
Like I feel numb. And maybe that's because like my ovaries are shedding its skin right now. But like I just yeah. But other than that, I was having a conversation with somebody and basically No Hands by Waka Flocka came on. And if you know, my turn up songs are No Hands by Waka Flocka and Thong Song by Cisco. And so I was telling him, I was like, yeah, like No Hands is my favorite turn up song, like my first one. And he's
Mhm.
like, okay, so what's your second one? And I was like, the Thong Song by Cisco. And he looked at me like I was truly insane. He's like, no one actually like is in love with the thong song like that. I said, you're actually a hater. And I'm like, it's because y'all not like y'all thinking of it very surface level. Y'all not really listening to like the song. Like this man is singing with such conviction and dedication about trying to see that thong. Like, do you understand? Like, it's bigger than the program, y'all. It's bigger than the program. Like, I need my future man to think of me with such conviction. Like, where it'd be like, what? Rebecca? Yeah, that's my baby. She beautiful. Like, singing to the top of his lungs, talk about how much he loved me. Like, y'all not thinking about it deeper than that. That's the problem.
I wish I could say something, but have I heard the song? I don't know if I've heard the thong song. I probably have, but I can't. What? We're not trying to get copyrighted. We've already been through that.
Ooh, that just so scandalous.
I feel like I have heard that song, but it's not like a top song of mine. But
it's because you're thinking of it very surface level. You gotta think of it deeper. It's layers, girl. It's onions to this. You gotta peel back every layer.
Period. Go ahead.
And then also, we talked about it last week. Forever 21. So I finally went to a Forever 21.
How did I? It was bad. A mess.
No, it's not even that. It's like they're not bankrupt enough for me. Like,
the prices aren't low enough.
Yeah, like, what you mean 30% off? If y'all going bankrupt, like, I need to see 80. Like, show me you really mean this. Like, y'all look like y'all got a little money more left in the bank. Like, what is it going to take for that 80%?
They're trying to make more money. That's why
they could keep that 30. When it goes to 80, then y'all could really see me for real. But if you do go on their app, the sales are way more scrumdiddlyumptious. Okay, I just bought two orders worth of stuff because, well, remember I told y'all I'm going to my cousin's bachelorette trip in Puerto Rico, and I'm just finding out they got themed days for everything, and I'm like, oh, I need to buy some stuff.
I can't wait to see this Puerto Rico trip through Rebecca's lens.
Girl, I can't wait to see too. Like, they talk about, like, they need specific bathing suit colors. They want a day where you wear satin. I have nothing satin. So now I have to go through. And, you know, if you are a plus size girl, you know, we like the material that stretches a little bit to give you a little bit of space to, like, squeeze in a little bit. Satin is not a stretchable material. So I had to buy like 18 different satin options to see what could potentially work and fit. And so I just know my parents are about to be like, what are all these bags coming to the house? Like, girl, these are the options. And then also for Forever 21, you can't return right now because where it's gonna go. So whoever happens to get it when I put it in the clothing bin, congratulations, welcome to a new outfit.
Oh my God, Rebecca just got money like that.
Girl, I wish. Okay. And then this is my next point real quick, and then we can move on. I went to go get my car has had a recall for the last, I want to say 6-7 months, and I have not gotten that thing done. Right. So I made it my point this week. I called them, scheduled an appointment, everything like that. I went yesterday, Thursday, and they talk about we also did an all around overall check. Who told y'all to do that? I told you
for free.
Yes, for free. But that's the problem. That free check
comes with a lot of issues. Yes.
They talk about you need this, you need that, you need.
I just dropped a bag, honey. I'm talking major bag. Like, what's his name?
Money bag.
No. What's his name? He was like, today's price is
today's price ain't tomorrow's price.
Oh, girl, we messing that up. The moral of the story is the same thing happened to me in my little Honda, but I've already said I'm not getting a new car until I could afford to just buy it cash, and that's nowhere near right now. So I want to maintain my little Ruby, but Ruby is expensive, honey. I dropped a bag to fix these little issues, and I said, girl, you better stay in order until a few years because I need to recuperate all the money I just spent.
Honestly, and when like the guy, he called me, he's like, hey, just want to let you know we're almost done with like fixing the recall, but I want to make sure you saw, because they send you like this whole little video of them checking your car and stuff like that. And it's like, obviously the problem had to be something with the tires. And he's talking about treads. He's talking about this. Sir, you speaking a foreign language. Okay. Dumb it down for me. Break it down in basketball terms. Like, what are you talking about? Like, do I need a free throw? Do I need a 3-point shot? Let me know what you.
No, they print out a little packet. You can read it to take home. A little.
Yeah, I handed it to my dad, and my dad was basically reiterating. I said, this is why I need, like, listen, I get it. I'm a very independent woman, but once it comes to bugs and cars, baby, help me. Like, I just can't. This week, yeah.
That's why I get scammed at the dealership because my brother's like, oh well, if you go here, it'll be cheaper. I'm like, I'm not trying to do like the half, you know what I'm saying, type of work, because then I'm going to end up spending even more money. I know nothing about cars,
Right.
absolutely nothing. So I prefer spending a bag at the dealership where I can go back and be like, you guys messed this up, or this went wrong, or this. Because if I go to one of the little mechanics, which I have one at every corner here in Patterson, they gonna fix it, honey. But God knows how old this part is. It's probably, I got a Honda CRV. They're gonna put in something from the Toyota Camry. I'm not playing those games because I know nothing about cars. And then when I get got and I'm stuck in Route 80, then what?
Right.
I'm gonna show up with my car and they're gonna be like, "Oh, girl, I don't know who you are," because I know. So
right. It's like,
it's
it's just like, and as much as Shayla and I will do our research and stuff, that's just another headache that I just don't even want to deal with. They're talking about your worst tire is going to be $650 for the tread for this. I said,
yeah,
show me what I got to do and I could do it myself. I cut these nails down and do it.
That's a battle that I'm not trying to fight. I just work harder to make more money and just pay these people because I know nothing. Yeah. Anyways, let's get into our amazing topics. Or are they amazing?
Yeah, Shayla, go ahead.
Okay, so have you ever been added to a group chat?
All the time.
And what do you do when you get added to group chats?
Well, me, I'm the type.
Let's say it's a group chat that has more than 10 people.
Oh, I mute it automatically.
Okay. So this week, I'm sure you've heard the news, child. The the Atlantic editor. The Atlantic is like a media news corporation, right? Like, let's say like the New York Times, right? Mm-hmm. The Atlantic is something equivalent to that, right? So the Atlantic editor, Jeffrey Goldberg, was mistakenly added to a Signal group chat. Think of something like WhatsApp, okay? Was added to a Signal group chat where top Trump administration officials, including Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, discussed U.S. military plans for airstrike on Houthi targets in Yemen. Essentially, this is like Rebecca and I being added to a WhatsApp group chat where people are talking about a strike that's going to happen in Palestine. What? Like, it is actually, let alone, like, do we have the graphic here? Yes, so the editor of the Atlantic thought it was a joke because here it is, the first screenshot you see there. I mean, it's so small, but it says like, Michael Watts added you to the group. This is from like the point of view of the Atlantic editor, right? And it also says disappearing messages time was 1 week. So essentially, like after a week, these messages will disappear. But the gag is, we could take this off. These are all text messages from the Signal group chat. These are the same individuals, right, that are so worried about, God forbid, we let a minority into a position of power. It's because of DEI. They're not qualified. But when these white men make a mistake, everything is fine. Oh, you know, people make mistakes. Oh, we weren't talking about anything in the chat. They were, because it had, the Atlantic editor thought it was all a hoax. And until it came down to like the day where the attack was about to happen, he literally stayed in his car to be like, okay, he got the Signal chat where it says, oh, in 2 hours, we're going to drop the first, whatever you think that they use. So he stayed in his car. And 2 hours later, he went on Twitter and he searched, like, you know, Houthi strikes or whatever. And he saw the effects of that strike. This means that the Atlantic editor knew 2 hours in advance what was about to happen. If anyone that is an adversary to the United States would have gotten that information, do you know how much of a security threat that is for all these Republicans and all these right-wing people that care so much about our troops and about America and all of that? These people are putting us, not only us, but our troops in jeopardy. That is ridiculous. Mind you, these high-level officials are not supposed to be using a commercial app like Signal or WhatsApp or none of that. They have their like own separate government approved type of messaging softwares where, you know what I'm saying, it's not likely to be hacked, or all of these security measures are in place because they are talking about top level communications. And now the gag of it all is that they're trying to downplay it. Like, oh, I don't know how this man got in, or, oh, well, we were just talking about this and that. There was nothing major happening. The fact that you added someone to a group chat, the Atlantic editor at that, I'm so sorry, but you would have to go. And I don't care. The other funny thing is a lot of Republicans are just like, there are some that are saying like, no, we need to, you know, investigate this more. How did this end up happening, et cetera, et cetera. But there are those that are just like, oh no, like it's okay. If the roles were reversed and this would have happened under Biden or any Democratic leader, oh baby. You remember what happened with Hillary Clinton and all the emails and this and that? It was like a whole charade, boom, 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 boom. But then when Republicans do it, or when a white male does it, it's like, oh, well, no, it's okay. Well, actually, it is not okay. And everyone has to be held to the same exact standards. And also, like, these people are getting paid bank, right? I think the person that created the chat was what's his name? I have it here. It's what's his name?
The person who created it?
Yeah, it was like Michael Waltz or something like.
Yeah.
Okay, so he was the one that created the chat. First, he sent like like an invite to the editor, and then he went again and added him to the chat the next day. It's just like, it's mind baffling, because when I get added to a chat, before I say what I want to say, I need to see who's in that chat. And I understand, like, you know, the last thing you're thinking is that you're gonna add someone that is not a part of the government to the chat. Like, that's obviously, you're not gonna do that. And so that's probably why JD Vance, the vice president, was in this chat. Pete Hegseth, like, these are high level people. We're not talking about just Joe Schmo from the street. These are high level government officials that should never be discussing any type of high qualified information in a chat. Like, you're talking about bombing people. What?
Yeah. I mean, when you sent this to me, I didn't know anything about it, but like, also that y'all know, Shayla's the one who keeps me informed of everything politics. First off, I didn't know we had beef with Yemen. I'm gonna start there. I didn't
have beef with everybody.
Girl, I mean, shoot. They said, who's next? That's literally how the Harry song go. Jump in, who's next? Like, that's literally what it's giving. I think my only thoughts for this is that, like, I feel like I have made those mistakes where I've sent people the wrong text message and things like that, right? But like, sending the wrong text message or adding the wrong person to a group chat is different when you don't have sensitive information that you are holding.
Right.
Like, it's like, it's a mistake when you aren't controlling a important organization or anything like that, or, you know, talking about US versus another country. So I think for me, yes, it could have been a mistake. Yeah, y'all can downplay it, but that's why y'all are in power, because we don't need mistakes like this happening, right? So, like, to your point, I know somebody's gonna be like, oh, it's a what if, but it didn't happen. So why are y'all even worried? Okay, but the potential of it actually happening and getting into the wrong person's hands is the problem. And before y'all sit there and say, oh, like, y'all are dragging it. Y'all love to say, protect veterans, protect our soldiers, protect our troops. But why is that not the consistent energy that y'all are having right now? Because that potentially could have affected those troops that you keep shouting for.
Yeah, and not let alone, like, yes, the troops, but also American people. Like, if these, you know, the Houthis in Yemen, I'm sorry if it's Yemen or Yemen, I'm probably mispronouncing, but if the Houthis in Yemen would have been able to, like, somehow, you know what I'm saying, get into this chat and hack it, they would have known 2 hours in advance and would have been prepared for a counterattack. Like, that is what is, like, that is a problem. regardless of how you try to talk about it, if the roles were reversed, these same people that are now trying to like be like it's okay would have not been saying it's okay, because we still talking about Hillary Clinton emails. And so we need to keep the same energy. And also, like Rebecca says, yes, we all have made a mistake and sent a message to the wrong person, but Michael Watts is Trump's national security advisor. Your job is national security, making sure that the American people are secured. You unfortunately, or not unfortunately, you're held to a different standard. That is your whole job. Like, if you committed to this role, you have to understand that your job is national security. You're an advisor. And so you have a platform, different things that the regular American people don't even know about. Those are the sources of communication that you should be using to talk about these situations, not Signal.
Exactly. And also, it's like, it's kind of the same issue that they keep bringing up with TikTok. Like, we don't want our information getting in the wrong people's hands. Okay, so because y'all don't want the people having our information, let me see how y'all are doing it to make sure that y'all are keeping our own issues and everything like that intact with us. But y'all talking about stuff through a little app. I thought this was conversations that happened in the Oval Office in person. What, I'm confused. Maybe the process switched up and I just never.
No, it did not. And also, another big point of this is all the communication that happens in the White House is supposed to be archived. You know what I'm saying? Preserved. And when they made this chat, it said that it's only available for a week. So this is like the one chat that we got to see because the Atlantic editor was added. But imagine how many other top secret information they could have been talking about that we haven't seen. And in a week, all of that information is gone. And they could lie in our faces because none of that information is tracked. It deleted a week from now. It's ridiculous. But anyways, on to the next topic.
Yes. So we talked about national issues. Now let's talk about something that's happening in New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
And I wanted to talk about this because I just think it is so ridiculous. And it's like, just think about if this was you on a regular work day and this is what you had to experience. So, right, the North Bergen is a city in New Jersey, right? So the new North Bergen police chief is accused of harassment, retaliation, and misconduct. So several police officers in North Bergen, New Jersey have filed complaints against police chief Robert Farley, accusing him of harassment, sexual misconduct, discrimination, and retaliation. The allegations include shocking claims such as defecating on floors, exposing himself, drugging officers' coffee with Viagra and Adderall, and jabbing a needle into an officer's private area. So Farley, who became the police chief in February 2024, literally a year and some change ago, is also accused of retaliating against officers who reported him using racial slurs and creating a toxic work environment. Officers claim he sent sex toys to an officer's home, placed firecrackers under desks, clogged toilets, and smeared bodily fluids on colleagues' belongings. The township has denied the allegations, expressing confidence in Farley's leadership while referring the complaints to the Hudson County Prosecutor's Office. Some officers say a state investigation is underway and legal notice serve as a precursor to lawsuits against the department, right? So I have a few photos here. So this is the photo of the police chief. This is him. Right. And I'm just going to show y'all a little bit of some of the stuff that they're saying. So this is one of the things that they say happened. And all these photos came from the lawyer. So apparently he sent one of the lieutenants basically a LGBTQ plus pride flag. This is him, I guess, shaving his arms or whatever on somebody's desk, which is absolutely disgusting. One day, I guess he was in a fit of rage and he basically threw a plaque at a window and shattered glass everywhere. This is that he threw, I believe this is eggs on the door. He like smeared eggs on the door. And this is the one where we talked about where we said he defecated on the floor and sent sex toys to an officer's house. I censored it because y'all, it's disgusting. It is truly nasty. And I covered the sex toy because it's basically a big black dildo. Like, it's just, imagine. And like, the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because we talk about toxic work environments, right? But I could not imagine walking into work and I see Dookie just sitting on the floor. Like, can you imagine this?
How long was he working there?
Girl, since February 2024. But
Oh,
as
well,
like
it didn't last. I mean, it lasted over a year, which is insane.
and like
Clearly, he's not right in the mind. But
and
also,
that's
it's like he's a I thought that you would have to take some tests that would have disqualified you to not make it this far. Because it's actually ridiculous that someone that's put into leadership positions and I'm supposed to call this person to save me. He needs saving himself.
and like obviously I want to preface this by saying these are all allegations that are being made and stuff like that. Obviously they're complaints that are being filed. But it's like you can't tell me that you are sane for one. And if this was to hit trial or go further in any way, if he was to plead insanity, I would have to give it to him. Because, sir, what? Like, I can't imagine my boss doing anything like that to me. First off, retaliation or not, you gonna have to see me. Like, what? You're
Yeah,
not
I
shaving your
think
armpits on my desk?
I feel like it's absolutely atrocious that he was able to get this far because no tea, no shade. I don't even think I would have made it a week. Either you leaving or I'm leaving because I cannot be in this work. You know what I mean? Like, I am very empathetic and I try to understand people, but clearly, like, this is someone that needed help. They're not, how can a person like that do their job on a daily basis? I feel
Because
like they're not able to perform because obviously they're dealing through something. So the fact that he got to even make it a year working is crazy.
right, but they so worried about DEI, but they not realizing who's really not capable of holding these positions. But that's just the tea, not the shade. Okay. But y'all, let us get into our social corner. So if you are new here, our social corner is basically where we talk about a lot of the stuff that we've seen trending on social media or anything like that. And instead of talking about one topic for 15 to 20 minutes, we break down a few topics within that span. So the first thing I wanted to talk about is LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith. Honey, they have been beefing for what it seems like. I think we about to be on 2 or 3
I
weeks.
think since Bronny, but it got intensified since Bronny got drafted to the Lakers.
Exactly, exactly. So let me give y'all a quick little background before I play the clip for y'all of the recent incidents that happened. So LeBron James and Stephen A. Smith, who works at ESPN, continue their heated dispute over NBA media coverage. LeBron is accusing Stephen A. Smith of making personal attacks rather than analyzing on-court performance. The feud began when LeBron confronted Smith at the Lakers game regarding his critical remarks of his son, Bronny James. And if you know, we covered it in the past. He's now in the league. LeBron had originally said that he wants to play with Bronny James and he'll go to whatever team that whatever. So now Bronny James is with the Lakers. We've talked all about that, right? So Stephen A. Smith defended his comments, stating that Bronny was the only in the NBA because of his father, which we agree. LeBron later called out Stephen A. Smith for exploiting their confrontation for personal gain, promoting that Stephen A. Smith to retaliate, calling James a liar. Well, prompting Stephen A. Smith to retaliate, calling LeBron James a liar and threatening a physical response if touched. The conflict remains ongoing with both figures doubling down on their positions, right? So Shayla, before we get into like all the other stuff, like when you've seen like this stuff that's been happening as people who work in the media, right? And we literally have a podcast where we share our opinions and stuff like that. How, like, when you saw LeBron James walk up to Stephen A. Smith at that game and basically tell him, like, hey, like, leave my son's name out your mouth, basically. Like, what was your reaction to it?
I feel like I was okay with it. I feel like when Stephen A. Smith is not just like a regular media personality. He has a humongous reach. So I feel like anything that I say, I stand by it. And I think you also have to be like, keep that same energy. Stephen A. Smith is known to spark a lot of like, he likes to get reactions from people. And that is surely exactly what he did. And he found the right one. I feel like LeBron had let it slide a lot of times. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it gets to a point. You know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is, that is his son. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like probably Bronny hears this. Not probably. I know he hears this, right? So imagine, you know, this makes your son feel a type of way, regardless of the nepotism aspect of it all. But aside from LeBron being the athlete, he's a human, he's a father. So if you see that these words are affecting your son, yes, I should have a right to go up to you and just let it be known. You know, and LeBron said when he went on the Pat something show, the show, right? He said, like, I don't mind you talking about him, but it's when you make it personal where it's kind of triggering, right? Because he said, I understand that it is your job to critique, right? And everybody critiques LeBron James. He is, you know what I'm saying? For some, the GOAT of the NBA, of basketball. So he's used to it. But I feel like the constant, especially like First Take and ESPN, sometimes they talk about the same topic for a full week straight. Like, let it go. You know what I mean? Like, it's not a secret that, yes, the fact that he is LeBron James' son gave him an extra boost to make it to the NBA. But like I said, if I'm in the NBA and the WNBA and my daughter wants to be in the WNBA, if I could help her, I will. You know what I'm saying? Like, people do that all the time. So when I saw that, I was just like, well, you get out there, you say what you want to say, be ready for the consequences.
I agree with you. I think for me, when I first saw the video and everything like that, the first thing that came to my head is like, you know, I'm very big on like family stands up for family. Like, I don't play that. Like, you talk sideways about my family, I'm going to talk sideways right back to you. Right. But my thing is also, when I saw this, I'm like, is he going to come for everybody who's, because it's not just Stephen A. Smith who said, your son is literally in the NBA because of you.
But Stephen A. Smith gets personal, and that is the difference. That is what triggered him. Every day you're talking, you get on First Take and talk about my son and how he's this and how he's that. At some point, yes, I let it slide the first 2 weeks after the draft. But it's been how long? And you still talking about him? Not only his skills, but just him as a person. Like, he's never going to make it. He's never this. The same thing, like Jaylen Brown was caught, you know, in a hot mic moment, talking down on LeBron James, but that was like one incident. When you keep poking, at some point you're gonna reach the limit. Like, exactly. I'll let it slide for a month, but then let it go.
And I agree with you. Like I said, I agree. I don't think what LeBron did at all was wrong in my eyes. I think what he did was rightfully justified. But also, it's like, if everyone has been saying the same thing, and I understand we're talking about he made it personal because he said Bronny James isn't good enough to be in the NBA. Da, 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 da. I can give you 7 other analysts who have said the same point. I just want you to have that same energy for everybody. Like, that energy need to be widespread. And I'm not making excuses for Stephen A. Smith, because I know there's going to be someone who misconstrues what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, Stephen A., you put it out there and you got the energy that you deserve. But also, everybody else who's having that same energy, LeBron, I need you to stand 10 toes as well. But I want to show the clip that we talked about where he went on the Pat McAfee show, where they talked about his whole beef with Stephen A. Smith, and then Stephen A. Smith responded. Yes.
But when you take it and you get personal with it, it's my job to not only protect my damn household, but protect the players.
What did I say about Bronny James other than at the time he wasn't ready?
So I just want to say first, in the same breath of what I'm saying, as, you know, LeBron James, if you're going to have the beef with Stephen A. Smith because, you know, you say it's personal and stuff like that, I think there are other people who have said stuff as well that I want you to have that same energy with. In that same breath, Stephen A. Smith, shut up, respectfully. Like, I get it. If you had a problem with it, when you addressed it the first time, let it be that and keep it pushing. But as you said, Shayla, a lot of times on First Take, it's regurgitated content. How many times do we have to keep talking about the same situation? Because at the end of the day, y'all are not going to fight. LeBron James is going to do his job, and Stephen A. Smith is going to do his job. Okay, what's next? You don't think Bronny James is made for the league? You don't think that he's ready? A lot of us have had that opinion. But guess what? He's still playing in the G League, and he's still coming off the bench when they need him to come off the bench. So nothing changes at the end of the day. So it's like, it's very much, what is the point? Right? And so Stephen A. Smith talk about, is it because you're not number one on my GOAT list? Is it because you don't have no friends in the immediate? It's like, it's irrelevant points. The point of the matter is, and if you are standing by what you said, all you have to say is, I said what I said. If you don't like it, that's fine. We're not friends. It's my job.
Yeah, and he just keeps digging a deeper hole. Then he talk about some, oh, why weren't you at Kobe's funeral? And then the next hour he had to, clear up the air because in fact, LeBron James did attend Kobe's funeral. So it's just, you keep digging a bigger hole for yourself. And also at the end of the day, aren't you the journalist in the situation? Are you or are you not? Because LeBron James is the athlete. And I wholeheartedly believe that as the athlete, you should be able to say and respond to what others are saying about you. But if you're the journalist, stand by what you say. I think obviously he's advanced from journalist to like not a spokesperson, but like a correspondent, someone that just gives their opinion. Because Stephen A. Smith is just known to always have these like outlandish opinions. And honestly, I feel like sometimes he does it to get reaction because a lot of people, it's a reactive show. People love if we're saying, oh, an apple is an apple, but he'll get on the show and be like, an apple is a banana, because that will bring engagement and it'll spark controversy. And it is what it is. And to Rebecca's point, I've said it a billion times. Yes, we all know this. We feel like Bronny James needed way more practice before he got to where he was. But at the end of the day, I don't see people having a full show just based on Bronny. And that's it. And if you feel strongly about what you said, you're trying to, and then he goes, and by he, I mean Stephen A. Smith, he also has like a podcast after his show, like later at night. And he's talking about if he came up to me and punched me, like I would punch back. And he did admit in the same sentence that obviously like he would lose and LeBron James would obviously, the athlete, come out the winner. But it's just like, as a journalist, as the supposed to be bigger person, why are you even putting these narratives out there? Oh, if he would have hit me.
Yeah, it's very much like, let it go, drop it. Like, and my whole thing is, right, one of the points that he made was that, oh, LeBron James, you're really going to be that petty. It's like, if you've watched First Take, Stephen A. Smith is just as petty.
He's the king of petty.
Like, he is just as petty. The amount of times he's gotten into beef with people on his own show and has been petty in his responses and like trying to get a rise and reaction out of them. It's like,
LeBron. And the thing with Stephen A. Smith, he hates to be clocked. Because I remember when we had Monica McNutt on set, I don't know if she was on set, it was some situation, and she clocked him. Oh, he felt so offended. The He's same like, thing really? That happened with Shanae Ogumake. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, but he hates to be clocked. He thinks it's a one-way street. I can say whatever you want. I mean, I can say whatever I want, but then the person that should just receive this information and stay shut. Well, no, you will find the right one, and you will find some people that do have something to say, and they will respond and keep the same energy. The same way you feel like you are free to say whatever you want, LeBron James should be free to say and do as he pleases. That's
right.
It.
And then he's going to break down like, oh, like you were onto the show, like, you know, it's right after us. Why would he sit down and talk to you? And if honestly, if they did do an on-set first,
I don't want to give you the ratings. I'm petty.
Right. No, facts. And my whole thing is, to your point, right? Whenever he is questioned or corrected or anything like that, like, he does not like to be wrong. It's very machismo energy. He gets very loud. He gets belligerent. He gets all this stuff. And like, I remember hearing this phrase, like, just like the loudest person is the weakest person, right? So it's like, just because you get loud and you keep nipping and like keep talking, like that does not make you like a bigger person in my eyes. That to me, it's like the amount of times I've watched First Take and I've had to change it because I'm like, all right, you're not saying nothing of true value or importance. Like you're just nipping. You just keep going. And it's like sometimes you could dead a conversation and still be the winner.
That part.
Okay. Now we're gonna get into our next topic.
Yes. So this is so funny to me because if you've seen this meme that's going viral about there's like a blue glass water bottle that people are putting in a container with ice and just dumping their head in. If you've seen that meme, you know. This is all because this fitness influencer by the name of Ashton Hall, his morning routine has become a viral meme, right? So like I mentioned, he's a fitness influencer and he sparked a viral trend with his ultra early morning routine video, which many found both excessive and amusing. The clip started off at like 3:30 a.m. and he's just doing the absolute most. Do we have the video or no?
I'm about to play.
Let's just play the video.
Preaching about the arrival of Christ. Thank you.
Going up. Going up.
Three, two, one. It's good to meet you, man. Respect it.
That's crazy.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
You've made your first 10,000. Congratulations. We got to do at least 20, bro.
Girl, first of all, you're lying.
Ain't nobody.
Number two, the random white lady. I mean, she could be of any race, but she real light skin, so I'm thinking she white. That just pops up and puts stuff in front of him, whether that's a banana or the cup with, not the cup, the bowl with ice water. It is just so unrealistic. And to the point that this video was the one that he made after the fact. He was like upset that people were copying him. And it's like, sir, nobody is copying you. I am not going to wake up at 3:30 just for funsies. If I had to go straight from work, like, I work at 4 a.m. So yes, I do have to wake up at 10 in the morning. But if I would never do that just for freedom, like just for funsies.
My whole thing is, right, when I first saw this, the first thing that came, I thought it was an advertisement for that bottle of water, to be honest.
The stocks are up, honey, for the water. I honestly, I'm going to go to ShopRite and see if they got them.
Yeah, like, I was just like, oh, this is a cool commercial, I guess. And it just kept going and going and going. I was just like, to me, to your point, It's very unrealistic. Sir, no one's waking up at 3 a.m. to do all this. And if you are doing that, when are you getting your full 8 hours of sleep? Because all of that you're doing isn't even going to matter. If you don't even get
for what? Like, you're mad. Like, you are moving in slow-mo. If you need to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to just brush your teeth, dump your face in ice water, and work out.
Exactly.
And then to start work at 9 a.m. You could wake up at 7 a.m. at regular people hours and get all of that done. You gotta be moving in slow, like a turtle. If you need to wake up at 3:30 in the morning to just be able to do regular things.
Like, you up before the sun, sir. Like, are you like what are you doing? I think it's like I've been seeing this phrase like rage bait. I feel like that's what it is. Like, you're doing it to get a reaction out of everybody because you know it's going to get people talking. I mean, here we are talking about it right now. But it's just like, be realistic. Like, sir, we know you're not doing it. And my favorite ones I've been seeing, because people have been doing like their own mock creations of it. It's the one dude, like, he's like me. It's like my morning routine. It's like him sleeping at 7 a.m. Him still sleeping at 8 a.m. Him sleeping at what? He's like, wake up a little bit, 9:02, 9:15, back asleep. I'm like, no, honestly, because that's really what it be like. Like, I feel like when you, yes, Shayla will tell you, like, having a routine is important. Shayla has.
Yes, I'm a routine girl.
I know Shayla's routine down from the minute to the hour, right? I already know when she's at the gym when I don't even call her, right? But it's like, you need a healthy balance of your routine. If you go to sleep at 9 o'clock and you wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning to do all this, when do you feel like you are being healthy? Like, I feel like that's not healthy. I don't feel like that's conducive for a normal and healthy life. And if that is what he's saying his lifestyle is for him, congratulations, all power to you. Do I believe it? Absolutely not. Do I think
also, it's just so unnecessary. Right. Like, you can get all of those things done. He can't be from the East Coast. He can't be, because East Coasters work quick. Like, we walk a block, like we're zooming. And I'm not saying that's a healthy way of living, but he gotta be from the West Coast.
It's giving LA. It's giving LA.
No East Coaster, like, hurry up. Why? You know what I mean? Like, I'm all for the dunking your head. He even like eats a banana and then he rubs the banana peel on his face.
It's great. That's great. That's natural.
But you could fit all of that in an hour. You do not need to be waking up at 3:30 in the morning to like, you're moving like a turtle. Speed it up. And also, this girl, she's probably like the person that's recording, because you got to also, he's probably waking up at 3:30 in the morning to set up the cameras and angles to shoot the morning routine. And he's talking about he compared himself to Jesus. He said in like a clip or whatever, he's like, because he was saying like he was a little bit upset about people copying him. First of all, you're not the creator of Get Ready With Me or Wake Up With, like, that's been a thing. YouTube days, honey, been a thing. And number two, he's like, oh, but then I realized, like, that's the same way, like, Jesus, people, you know, like, when you are a leader, people follow. It was just giving, like, please relax, and you're doing the most. But if it works for you, I guess, cheers. Let's cheers our Poland Spring. We're not in the blue water world quite yet.
Poland Spring sponsor us, okay?
We'll get our our morning routine with you.
No, facts.
So Poland Spring, get ready with us.
No, honestly, listen, I'm not pouring. I'll use tap water to clean my face. I'm sorry. That pack was kind of expensive.
Right. It's 1 of 1.
So the next thing I wanted to talk about, if you know, and if you watched the podcast before, you know I love rodwave. If you don't know and you are new here, I love rodwave, right? Him and I have a little bit of a contentious relationship at the current moment. After I was gonna go to a concert of his by myself, and I was so excited because it was gonna be my first concert by myself, and he canceled. Granted, I will listen to him on my phone, on the TV, on social media. Will I go see you in person? No, because I learned my lesson. But the reason why we're talking about him today is because earlier this week, right? Drama. When is there never not drama? So Rodwave publicly apologized following a heated social media clash between his ex D and his current girlfriend Nari. So the drama escalated when a friend of Nari's threw shade at D's looks after a blog highlighted Rodwave's dating history, basically saying like, you know, he kind of like all the different girls that he's been seen with publicly kind of look alike, right? So the friend,
he has a type. Everyone
he got a type. I mean, everybody got a type, I think. So Nari's friend, unprovoked, just randomly said something about D. So D, I guess, she's been real quiet ever since they broke up. Everything, like he's made songs about her, but then also has songs in the same album about his new current girlfriend and all that, right? She finally spoke up. Right. So D basically fired back, leading to an intense exchange on X, where she also hinted that Rodwave may still be involved with her, she's like sneaking and geeking with him behind his current girlfriend's back. Right. So in response, Rod took to Instagram expressing regret for his actions without directly naming anyone. His posts were later deleted, leaving fans speculating about what he truly is feeling remorseful about. So I'm going to show you guys the tweet that started all the drama, where the post basically was talking about like his dating history, and then the friend basically decided to get slick out the mouth and say something like, Nari looks better than both, so what's the type? Boop, right? It's like very unnecessary. Like, what was the reason? Like, you didn't even have to comment that, right? So then D commented back, like I said, and after that, Nari and D started going back and forth after D and Nari's friend were going back and forth. So in the middle of this exchange, D basically said, you talking, like, Nari was basically trying to flash the fact that she gets jets, she gets gifts from Rodwave, this, that, and all that.
She's the current girlfriend.
Yeah, Nari's the current girlfriend. And basically D was like, girl, I've been had that. Mind you, D has his twins. Like, they had kids back in 2020. Like, she holds some weight over here. Okay.
Right. He gonna be stuck with me forever, whether you like it or not.
Regardless if you don't like me, I'm in the picture.
Right.
So after that, D basically said to her, like, well, he flew me on a private jet when you went to your sister's party, and I was staying at that condo that's basically right next to your house. Y'all know the one. So now she's saying that she's sleeping with her baby daddy behind Nari's back. Now, it's important to mention that while D and Rodwave were together for a long period of time, like, he has wrote multiple songs and stuff about her, but he also was cheating on D with Nari. So at the time, Nari was the side chick while D was the main chick, and now the roles are reversed. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this is because of this one specific tweet, right? So while they were going back and forth, Nari basically stated, like, you know, like, you're basically capping, like, you only still living in that house because of me, be for real, but keep playing with me and I'm gonna have your lights and your water cut off, right? And it's like, D then responds to basically like, Rodwave, like, you know, get your girl, like, she thinks she's bigger than the program, talking about she gotta cut off the lights where my kids lay their head. And I think for me, that's what kind of like irritated me about the whole situation, or bothered me, like, so to speak, is because how are you going to tell somebody that, mind you, the man that you're with, who has 2 kids, who stay with the mother, who is D, that you are big enough in that man's life to have the lights, water, and everything cut off in the house where his kids lay their head? Who do you think you are? And to D's like term, like, you really think you bigger than the program? No one, like, his children are above you and her, actually. It's like, and there's this phrase that people keep saying, and I try not to believe in it and everything like that, but they always say, if the children are under 5, that relationship is still alive. And it's honestly true. Like, so now this gets me to my next question. Do you think you could ever see yourself dating somebody with kids?
Do I want to? No, but I do feel like the older we get, the more likely it is that the person's gonna have a child. But would I want to? No, because I think it does come with baggage, whether it's good baggage or non-baggage. At the end of the day, they're always going to be a part of the child's life and the mother at that, right? Like, as someone that was raised by a single mother, I would never want to do something like this and be like, oh, well, I'm the main girl now, so now the kids have to suffer because of that. Absolutely not. The kids didn't ask to be brought into this world. The kids should not be in the middle of grown adult drama. Like, I don't, sometimes people think like, oh, well, he's with me now and I'm gonna change him. Once a cheater, always a cheater. I believe that.
And that's
so
important.
now these two girls are probably going back and forth on social media, which in itself is like a no for me. Y'all could be having all of these chats on FaceTime, on a call, or whatever. This is no one's business, because now, like, y'all are making a fool out of yourselves. First of all, I thought Rodwave was dealing with mental issues, which is why he canceled all his shows. And now it's like, I don't know if they're causing this, or he been had mental, you know what I'm saying, situations happening. Like, it's just, who are you? Like, how about you make your own money, and then you can say what you can and cannot do. Don't be trying to clock other people's money. How dare you try to, you know what I'm saying, have a say into, like, it's just all very weird. I think it should have never been brought to social media. And no, I would not want to date someone with kids, because not only are the kids going to be a part of the relationship, but also the mother.
I think so. Also, I wanted to mention really quickly, there has been another scandal that came out that potentially Rodwave did have another child with some other girl, and like she ended up sharing text messages saying that she wanted 35 or 32,000, something around that range, for an abortion. It's like, it's just a whole lot, right? So Nari over here fighting with the baby mother who was his girl before you ever became his girl. But you need to have that energy with the girl who potentially had his other kid.
But where has Rodwave been? Like, has he said anything after this? Like,
girl, yeah, apparently he had posted on social media, like he had put like, I really hurt you, like a little paragraph, like not even a long paragraph, but a little paragraph thing. And then he posted another thing talking about, I'm so sorry, but he deleted both of them. So it's just like, the problem is you want to have your cake and eat it too.
And also, man, I'm sorry to control. Right. I think we should also be holding Rodwave accountable, because I think a lot of times also women always get like the bash, like, oh, this, da, 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 da. But where is Rodwave? He's like the main point of all of these issues. If I hear you publicly talking about you trying to take away the water and the lights of where my kids live, it's a wrap. Because my kids will always come first. Where are you? You're mute. And so you are also the problem, because that's why I'm asking where's he at, because I would have immediately Instagram live or whatever, a communication statement to let it be known no woman will ever get in the middle of my kids. Are you dumb? Are you crazy? Exactly. It's not your money. I'm the one out here touring and making my music. Who are you?
Exactly. My thing is, and that's why I really agree with what D said. You think you're bigger than the program, because at the end of the day, my kids are my main focus. Like, I had them with her. Of course that they're going to live comfortably. Of course they're going to be happy. And for you to think that you hold such a value in my life, to think that you supersede my kids, that's where you got it all messed up in the cabeza. Okay. And like my yes, Nari, I get it. You and D going back and forth. Do I think it was meant for social media? No. Do I think that you need to be talking to your man about why is she saying, she's claiming that she's still with you while I'm over here away? Like, what's going on? Like, you and I have some issues to hash out before I even get with your baby mother. Okay. Like, and to the question I asked you, would I date somebody with kids? As you mentioned, as we get older, I feel like it's more inevitable to date somebody with kids. I have dealt with people who have kids. I have dealt with people who had kids before, and I think, like, for me, it's all about the communication aspect of it. I've told every dude I've dealt with who has kids, there needs to be a boundary. Like, me and your baby mother, she needs to understand that you're dating. I need her to understand that I'm in the picture, but I'm not in the picture for the kids. Like, your kids and you and your relationship with them, cool. But me and you are not at that level yet, especially if we're feeling things out. If things do get potentially more serious, then I think, yes, you could bring me around the kids so they can get acclimated to me. I can get acclimated to them. Like, I understand what you came with. I understand that, like, not to say the kids are baggage, but I understand whatever's from your past is your current future and your present. So, you know, you kind of got to get acclimated in that way. I just don't do baby mother drama. If you know that your baby mother is problematic and you are still out here trying to date, the question is, why is your baby mother so problematic? Because if it was truly over and someone understood that it was over, as mad or as whatever she could be, you are still moving and living life the way that you need to be living life. There is no way that she would still be acting crazy if she didn't feel like there was still a space holder there. Like, I need to know what kind of conversations you had with them, because another thing is, especially with men, they will give you every sweet lie to make you think that it is you and them. And it's like, you gonna feed into it. You gonna be, what? I'm going into diabetic shock eating this up. And it's like, what are you telling them for them to think that they got such a grasp in this situation, that they automatically got something above me, like they got a one up on me? Communication needs to be 1000% open. I need us to both understand what we want. I need whatever sweet lies you telling them, either nip that in the butt or just be real. Like, yeah, I still want her, but I also want you. Baby, let me tell you this right now. You can have your cake. You just not going to eat it with me. I'll tell you that for free. So definitely let us know down below how y'all feel, if y'all would ever date somebody with kids. And if you have dated somebody with kids, what has the experience been like? Let us know below. But we're about to get into our sports corner because, y'all, we are a little over time.
Tell them this, Diddy Mitch, Junior want to not be on my
Hey, so welcome to our sports corner. But before we even get into all that, I wanted to talk about something that really recently broke on, I believe Shams broke it. Y'all know that man, he has everything in the world. Everybody be breaking things to him. But Memphis Grizzlies, if you know who they are parting ways with their head coach, Taylor Jenkins. And now they're putting their assistant coach as the head, like the temporary head coach. And I also want to mention, like, apparently the Grizzlies are 5th in playoff contentions. Like, it's like, I just don't understand it. I think that was just such a very random move. I feel like there's more to the story, but apparently they called him into the office and let him go in person. And I don't understand. It's very much what was the reason. And I would love to know what the reason was. I need an explanation. That's what I'm trying to say.
I feel like head coaching in these top franchises, or like, you know, NBA, WNBA, is a cruel world. Yeah. The coaches are not held to the same standards as a player, because you can coach everything that you want to coach, right? But at the end of the day, you can't force players like to put energy to play defense. You know what I'm saying? I can show you all the schemes, you know, all of them. But if you not, at the end of the day, the players are the ones playing. And I thought that he had a great relationship with the players, but I guess maybe they knew something that we don't. Sometimes they just make decisions thinking that the grass is going to be greener on the other side. And sometimes it don't be green on the other side. So we'll see.
Honestly. And I think for me, like, to your point, especially when it comes to like these coaching jobs, anytime like I see a team doing somewhat okay or doing good, I mean, for you to be 5th in the West, you're doing something right. I just always ask, like, what, as like ownership, leadership, or whatever, like, what is it that you're looking for specifically? Because like we're 10 games away from entering the playoff season. Well, play in and then playoffs. Mm-hmm. But it's like, you make this drastic of a change right now, like, you are messing up the whole like
groove.
Okay. And then I've been reading some of the comments. Like, obviously there were the funny comments where people were like, oh, he must have slept with somebody's wife to get fired, right? But other people, like, there were other people who were like talking about like the head coach was being put into the position. And they're basically saying like, he's the reason why most of the schemes and stuff work. I don't know if that's true. I don't watch the Memphis Grizzlies as much as I used to, because, you know, Ja is my cousin in my head. Like that.
Yeah, but to that point, I think they put the coach in a very, you know, hard predicament, because Ja Morant been in and out. Like, the Grizzlies have been overwhelmed with injuries. So it doesn't matter how good of a coach you are. The West is stacked. You know what I'm saying? Like, if your team is not healthy, I feel like you cannot be, of course, yes, you always put 100%, but you're playing these top level talent every day. And if your top talent isn't available to play, the results are not going to be good. Like, it doesn't matter who's at the head. It doesn't matter who's at the head. If your top players are not healthy and the Memphis Grizzlies have dealt with a lot of injuries, you're not going to be good. Point blank, period. And they're doing good to be 5th in the West because the West is stacked.
Okay. I just don't understand. I mean, I feel like he's definitely going to get a new job, another job somewhere. I don't think that he's like, I feel like for the last 3 years, the Grizzlies have gone to the playoffs. And like to do that, especially like you mentioned, the West has been completely stacked, especially the last few years, right? So it's like, you know, for you to be able to make it into the playoffs, that's an amazing goal within itself. The goal obviously is to win it all, but I don't know. I think he will land somewhere else. I just would love to know a deeper explanation as to why, right? But what I do want to talk about is our girl JuJu. Oh, that broke my heart.
Yes.
So go ahead, Shayla. You were gonna say something?
No, I was gonna say, like, if you don't know who JuJu Watkins is, she is one of like the stars of college basketball. You know what I'm saying? She's known for her bun, which I appreciate because when I started my curly hair journey, I was the bun girl, honey. So she is holding it down for the bun community, but she is a guard for USC, University of Southern California in Los Angeles. And over this week on Monday, she sustained a season-ending injury. She broke her ACL, tore her ACL, and so now she's going to be out for the remainder of the NCAA tournament. She was playing in the second round, and it was pretty early on in the game. She's
literally first half.
Yeah, she sustained a non-contact injury. People are trying to make it seem like the other team was being aggressive. No. When you are a top player, people are going to play tough defense. That's just what it is. You know what I'm saying? JuJu Watkins is that girl. So, of course, if you're trying to win, you do have to play defense. That's just what it is. And if you see the play, it was kind of like a non-contact injury. And she had been dealing with a lot of discomfort. One time she like twisted her ankle and then it was this. So it was just like, in my opinion, I think it was just a culmination of things. And yes, you are playing in the NCAA tournament. So you feel like you got to play through these things, but
right.
Your body is your body. And we wish her, I know she's going to come back better than ever. It is super unfortunate. You know what I mean? Because this is what you play for. You want to win a championship. You know what I mean? But the journey to recovery begins. And I know her teammates will hold it down for her.
Honestly. And I just wanted to talk about something real quick and that's to say a lot of y'all are weird on the internet because Shayla had sent me basically this video of JuJu sitting next to Jaden Daniels of the Washington Commanders. If you know who he is, that's our cousin, right?
Yes, I stand. I hope they are dating. They're not cousins. I don't know who's trying to.
No, I'm saying that
fake news.
I'm saying that's our cousin. Like Jaden Daniels is our cousin. So the reason why that's why I'm saying like people are weird is because the video of them sitting next to each other talking, everything went viral. But the other clip that went viral is like a few moments later. If you know Jaden Daniels' mother, she don't play. She be locked in like on him and like his money and like girls trying to get at him. Like, you know, she don't play that. So it's like a few clips later, you see the mom sitting right in between them. So then like people, I guess, started this weird narrative. Like, it's like, oh, that's like that. Like the mom really wanted her out the picture. It's like, what are y'all talking about?
Do you think he would be going there to see her if it was actually an issue? I think it's also like, it's like us, like our face talk, especially me, because I have an RBF face. Y'all don't know what I'm thinking, what I'm saying. And she knew the cameras were on her, which is why she even pointed at the video. Like, I think also when you are a celebrity, you know what is being seen. You know what I'm saying? Like, they know how to move accordingly. Jaden Daniels not just a random person. He is a quarterback. He just won Offensive Rookie of the Year. Like, he understands how to move accordingly. If he wants to be seen, he will be seen. And so he has been front and center in a lot of JuJu Watkins games. And his mom has also been there. If she didn't want that to happen, it wouldn't have happened. Or also, if Jaden didn't want his mom there, she seems like the type that would be like, okay, yeah, my son. Because what we not about to do is act like JuJu Watkins is just like a random person. Like, baby, JuJu is that girl, okay? Jaden Daniels should be like, you know what I'm saying? Like, grateful that JuJu is giving him a chance. Like, don't try to play on my girl. Period.
Right. So I was just like, when I saw people trying to do that, like, I'm not saying it's a narrative that's being pushed, but I've seen people saying that in the comments, and y'all are weird for that. So, like, tying up, lock in, and like Shayla said, our hearts go out to JuJu. Like, girl, you got this. Next season, you about to come back bigger, better than ever.
Period.
Go ahead, girl. You are well wishes from us. Okay. The next thing I wanted to talk about, if y'all know, last week I was talking about March Madness, and like I want to get more into it. And as you can tell, I have been getting locked in. Like, because when I tell somebody, I'm low-key getting a little obsessed. I'll be watching games from like sun up to sundown. Okay.
March Madness.
Okay, March Madness for sure. So for my women's teams, I have selected UConn. Girl.
Wow, I'm surprised.
That's why I was watching the game when I sent you the photo. I was like,
we play tomorrow.
Yes, we do.
Our girlies.
I also was watching LSU because Flage, she was doing her thing. Right? And also USC. But then
girl, after JuJu's injuries, I'm not gonna lie. My heart sunk, and I had to I couldn't even continue watching the game because
Shayla said, girl, ain't no way.
I as an empathetic person, I turned high. I was just like, oh my.
It was like the thing that really got me, like when she was on the ground, I'm like, oh, like, come on, JuJu, get back up. The girl is screaming. My heart sank.
How do you feel about that? I feel like as people that, again, work in production, television, I understand, yes, you want to tell the story, but once you see that first, instance of her in pain, agonizing, let us remove the camera. Like, y'all want to take the camera all the way to the bathroom. Like, let it go. And then you write these stories, and then the front cover photo is just like a lot, and there's no type of sympathetic. Like, there's ways to tell stories where you don't need to be so not thinking. Like, how would you like that if you were in pain there? For you putting the camera on her for 3 minutes.
Yeah. Excuse me. I've always said I don't like whenever a player gets injured, I hate when they replay it. Mm-hmm. They keep replaying it and replaying. It's I get it, especially when it's something gruesome. Yes. The moment you see the player screaming in agony, cut to commercial.
Drop it. Yes.
Because I get it. As entertaining as some people may find it, or it's really going to get you a rating like that. It's for me, I'm I felt so bad. I'm I just want y'all to teleport her to I'm saying teleport the liquor.
Teleport. Wow, this never happens. Rebecca is the English connoisseur.
Girl, are you crazy? I be messing words up all the time. But yeah, I wanted them to levitate that girl to the back room. I'm please get her back there. Then we were trying to see if she could walk, carry her, grip that girl by her legs and walk her out, please.
That's so heartbreaking.
I couldn't. But I had chose a men's team.
Interesting. Who was your men's team?
So I had chose last week. I had saw Arkansas versus St. John's, and yesterday, Thursday, they had played Texas Tech, and I was so excited. I'm like, oh my God, they eating up.
St. John?
Huh?
St. John's was playing?
No, Arkansas. I'm rooting for Arkansas. Well, was rooting for Arkansas.
That's
last night they were up, right? They were I want to say between 12 to 14 points up against Texas Tech. So I started dozing a little bit. So then when I came back to they're in the second half, I'm okay, Texas Tech is catching up. I don't know what happened. 5 minutes later, tied, end of regulation, and they go into overtime. I completely fall asleep. I wake up, girl. They doing end of game interviews with Texas Tech. said,
I know you lying. Where my team at?
no, it was so. I grabbed I couldn't find my phone. I was discombobulated. Like I'm looking for I go on my iPad. I said Arkansas Texas Tech game. Girl, they lost by 2 or 3 points.
Oh, those are horrible.
No, or 1 point. It was like 1, 2, or 3, whatever. I said,
Yeah.
I need to find a new team because I need somebody to whoop Texas Tech's behind.
Well, Florida is doing really good in the men's side.
Yeah.
I like to root for teams that are in the East Coast. So whoever in the
I was
East Coast,
judged. People were judging me because I had chose Arkansas over St. John's, and like they're a big.
well, St. John's is gone. They've been gone.
Yeah, they lost to Arkansas.
They didn't give you a chance to root for them.
Arkansas, I was like, I was rooting for them in the beginning. I'm telling you, as soon as I saw it, I was stunned. I couldn't believe it. I don't really know if I want to root for Florida. Someone told me to go for Duke, but I don't really like I don't really like Duke. So I'm gonna find by next week. I'm gonna tell y'all who my next person is.
The tournament gonna be over soon.
Not because we're entering into the Elite Eight.
Right. You can't just jump on the wagon the last week of the tournament.
I'm not jumping on no wagon. I want a team that I like. I still like Arkansas, but
next year,
Arkansas I'm gonna make a bracket and I'm gonna have Arkansas winning it all.
And I do want to say what I like about the women's tournament or like women's athlete is that they actually play their 4 years or 3 years. Like they have to be in college for a certain amount of years. So you actually like see these players grow, right? Like since they're freshmen, whatever. Unlike the men, where the men just could go to college 1 year and then go off to the NBA, which I feel like every year is a whole new team. I have no attachment. I don't care. Versus the women, you see them in their 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like you kind of see them grow and it makes you more like, at least for me, it makes me more entertained, more into it because it's like, oh my God, like I saw you 2 years battling. Like this is your time. It just feels more.
Yeah,
emotional.
I hope nobody on Arkansas because like I want my boys to develop a little more. I like them.
My boys, girl, name one of the players.
I'm locked in with them. You said name one of the players.
One.
Bellies, Belas.
Okay, one.
That was one. You said one.
No, I need two.
You didn't say that. We gotta move on though. So the last thing I wanted to talk about, it broke. And if you know from episode 31, I called it. So Russell Wilson is going to the Giants. CC's coming, y'all. CC is coming. The outfit's about to be. We got to go to one Giants game. I need to see CC. Okay. So I had already said that I think that since the Pittsburgh Steelers were not looking like they were trying to go for Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
I had initially said that I think the Giants should go for him, right? And the Giants, they had got the I forget his name, the one quarterback from the Browns, and then they went and re-signed Tommy. And I was just like, what are y'all doing? Like, what is the direction y'all are going in? So this week on Tuesday, I believe, Russell Wilson reached and agreed to a 1-year deal worth up to $21 million, including $10.5 million guaranteed. That boy got the bag. Okay. And so basically, I've been seeing a lot of mixed reactions.
Which showed that if they wanted to play, if they wanted to pay Saquon, they could have.
Baby, thank you. Don't get me mad, please, because I could really go on a tangent again. But a lot of people are like saying like, oh, like he's washed up, he's this, he's that. And to me, I wasn't mad when I saw this, and I kind of did want them to get Russell Wilson because I feel like the thing that the Giants are lacking, one, is proper ownership, but we move. And they need someone who has actual experience who can help guide them. Right now, I don't know if Russell Wilson is going to be the starter. I don't know if he's going to be the backup. I don't know what he is going to be yet. Mm-hmm. Apparently, he believes he might be the starter, but we also got the dude Jameis from the Browns. But now it's the Browns. Yeah, the Browns. And he might be. We don't know who's going to be the starter yet, right? But I think that the Giants need that veteran player who has been through it, who has not only won a Super Bowl, but also who has been able to see all the different types of defenses and everything like that. And through his experience can tell the other young players on the team, hey, this, that, you know, be that voice, be that leadership, be that like person who is able to guide them. I feel like that's what the Giants are honestly missing. And I'm glad that it is Russell Wilson because he does have that experience. And I feel like he's also like a no nonsense type of player. Like he's not here to make friends. He's here to work. And how else am I going to get everybody here to work? Is by telling y'all, like, listen, I see this, I see that. Regardless of him being washed up, you can't say that he don't got experience.
Yeah, I mean, I think my little 2 cents is I can see the other side where it's like we want something that's long term, and at the end of the day, Russell Wilson is not going to be your quarterback for a lifetime, right? So hopefully you're banking on the fact that he's so good for the 1 or 2 years or however long the contract is for, and he passes enough knowledge that these 2 other quarterbacks become really good. Because I think in football, your quarterback is very important. So it's like if the 1 to 2 year contract is over and these other 2 quarterbacks are not capable of like continuing that high ride, then you're gonna start again to square one. Because we see Jaden Daniels and all these other rookies that are doing real good as quarterbacks. Is like they only gonna get better as the years go on.
Right. We also haven't seen who they're gonna get for the draft, so that's another thing that we also have to consider.
True.
But like to your point, you said after a year or 2 or whatever like that, if Russell Wilson does not stay there, it shows you back to your first point that you made before we even talked about this. Money talks. Y'all got the money to go get the next person. You see what it's like to get an actual veteran player, and you see what that's done to your team. That's going to force you to be like, okay, maybe we should go for another veteran player and see if we could do a little longevity with that contract. Not too old to the point where they're about to be out the league, Aaron Rodgers, but like, you know, get somebody else. You know, I just feel like this is going to be a test to see what else do you guys need. I do think y'all need to get new ownership, but it doesn't look like ownership is going anywhere. So I really can't argue that point anymore. But that is all from us today, guys. I hope y'all stayed this whole hour and plus minutes and you've been able to keep along with the conversation.
I want to give a huge shout out to Denise. Girl, I want you to understand how appreciative I am of you. You always stay to the end. You always comment all the emojis that we say. You are a real one. And I just want to like, there's not enough words for me to describe how thankful I am because you are super supportive. And I want you to know that we appreciate that for
honestly,
real.
I give your flowers all the time to Shayla. I'm like, yo, I love your coworker. Like, I love her. Like, I lock in with her. I really do. I lock in with you. And honestly, if we ever do a giveaway, I'm going to tell you this right now. We're going to break the rules because
right. No, the first giveaway is going to be straight to Denise.
Like, it's going straight to her. So if you are, if you are, like, you know, like Denise, and you watch the rest of our episodes and stuff like that, please comment below. Like, yeah, I don't ever beg, but I beg. Comment.
So for today's episode, we want you guys to comment the phone emoji. The phone emoji.
Okay.
Of the signal chat that we started off the thing with, and anything food related.
Oh.
No, go ahead. What's your emoji?
I was gonna say a flamingo because you know we love them.
Flamingo, food related icon, and the phone. Y'all real one if you do it.
Okay, y'all are. And like we said in every episode, we appreciate you guys so much. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on all our social platforms at Too Much SB, and we will be back next week.
Friday. Bye, guys.
Bye.